Welcome back for another episode on soft skills. Today's soft skill we deal with is first impression is the best impression. The communication angle. In communication angle, let us see how first impression is the best impression. Let us start with one message. This message is in Telugu. Only Telugu knowing people can understand this. జీవితం మారుతుంది మంచి స్నేహంతో. జీవితం మారుతుంది మంచి స్నేహంతో. That is why always have good friendship, not bad friendship. Don't be in bad association. Be always in good association. జీవితం మారుతుంది మంచి స్నేహంతో. Coming to the topic, today professionally fit human resource is need of the hour. What human resource required today? Professionally fit. That is why all of you be fit professionally to suit or to fit for the industry. Industry in the sense the education sector or job sector, whatever sector you are looking for. The corporate heads and company echelons are constantly serving to master the art of communication through various professional skill development programs. The corporate heads and company echelons, the top people, what they are looking for people who are communication wise strong. That is why for any job one should be communication wise, one should be strong. And professional skill development programs they are developing. Why these professional skill development programs? What is the reason? Because in any profession skill is required. That is why all the company heads, corporate echelons, what they are doing, they are introducing the professional skill development programs in their companies. The personality development trainers, soft skills trainers, these people what they do, they go to those corporate companies and give their training there to enrich people with good soft skills, good communication skills. Please try to understand soft skills, a broader word in which communication skills also there. Try to understand that. They are getting equipped with mechanism of communication process so as to manage and manipulate, beak and bend, turn and twist and be effective as communicators. What they are doing? They are getting equipped. They are getting equipped with the mechanism of communication process. The communication process everyone should know. Every human being should know what is the communication process. To manage and manipulate, you need to manage and manipulate, beak and bend, turn and twist and be effective communicators. The companies need effective communicators today. That is why what I say, one should open the mouth and speak. If you speak nicely, you are a good communicator. Speaking is very much important today. Speaking itself is oral communication. Effective communicator has compatible balance in IQ and EQ. IQ is intelligentsia, that is intelligent quotient. EQ is emotional quotient. So what is required here? The communicator should have both IQ and EQ. IQ and EQ are related to soft skills which inevitably complement hard skills. IQ, intelligent quotient, EQ, emotional quotient, both they complement the hard skills. With this gamut of understanding in the backdrop, we still claim that no communication is ever of 100 percentile. See, 100 percentile. So communication gamut with this background, with this gamut of background, still communication is not 100 percentile. It is lacking. Try to understand. We blame it on the variance in mental perceptions and information overload. Where we blame? Variance in mental perceptions and information overload. Mental perceptions. Mental perceptions. What mental perceptions? The perceptions of people, thinking of people is different what we say. We blame on mental perceptions, the way how we think. And information overload. Information overload is also there, what we feel. Information overload. Yes, with many channels of communication, lot of information overload is there. Still, you need to overcome information overload. We count our excuses on barriers and filters of communication process. Why should we count? Why should we count our excuses on barriers and filters of communication? No. Communication gurus say communication is always effective if the communicator is clear and focused on purpose of communication, objective of communication. The communicator has to focus on object of communication, purpose of communication, reason of communication, goal of communication. What is the reason for this communication? What is the goal for this communication? If the communicator use it in his mind, then communication will be clear to other people. X factor is catalytic to our communication power. X factor is unknown factor, the factor we don't know. Since the factor we don't know, we called it X factor. X factor is the cause we say. Okay, which is not correct. So let us see one message, one anecdote type, one joke type here. Love. Love in France is comedy, in England is a tragedy, in Italy is wonder, in Germany is a drama, in America is fashion, but in India is a game. Let me tell you again about love. This message. Love in France is comedy, love in England is a tragedy, love in Italy is wonder, love in Germany is drama, love in America is fashion, but love in India is a game. Now coming to the topic, that is, what is the topic we are discussing? First impression is the best impression. Communication angle. We are going it in a communication angle. Coming to the topic, 6 essential elements in communication. What are the 6 essential elements in communication? One, first impression in communication is one of the 6 essential elements in communication. So, first impression in communication, let us see the bullet points. First impression counts. Wherever you go, the first impression you give there, that only counts throughout your life. Audience appraise your visual and behavioral appearance from head to toe. From head to toe, audience or people observe your behavioral appearance from top to toe, head to toe. Next one is you make indelible impression at a times. The impression you make which is indelible, so that is permanent in our life. You may intrigue some and disenchant others. You may attract some people and you may disappoint some other people in communication, which is natural. Natural. You attract people, you disappoint people, you intrigue people, you disenchant people. That is but natural in communication. All people are not governed by one communication process. For example, one star is there, may not be liked by other people. All people may not like that only star. So some fans to some stars. It is something like that. All people may not love my lecture. And there are some other people. Sumita Rai, some other people are there. So some people may like their lectures. Some people may like my lecture. That is, our communication is not cut and throw to all people. That means some people only will get attracted to one communicator, one star. When we meet strangers, it takes 5 seconds to make an initial impression. When we meet a stranger, 5 seconds it will take to find out what type of person that stranger is. First impression once made is often irreversible and virtually proves to be everlasting. So try to understand, my friends, first impression once made, it is everlasting. It won't go at all. That is why wherever you go with the first impression, that first impression always counts. Why I tell you? For example, in my channel, Konapareddy Movies, in which the soft skills are loaded in YouTube. You see how it is? You see? I have not loaded the important episodes in the beginning. I have loaded all important episodes after 250. When 250 videos are loaded in my channel, after 250, I am giving all golden episodes. So first impression they made, what is this? What is this in the first video, in the second video, in the third video, what people felt, it's not for us. My taste is, though I could not make first impression as best impression in my channel, my thought process is, first, what are unimportant ones are there, they are given, they were loaded in the channel. From 250th video, all very useful videos I am uploading. That means here patience required for my channel. Why patience? So all the 250 may not be good. After 250, all the videos are very good, 100% successful, 100% hit, super duper hit. So my taste is giving unimportant ones first, important ones later. Though I could not make first impression with my video as best, I could not do that. Why? Because my taste is taking audience with me, carrying audience with me slowly. That is why all 250 videos I uploaded so far, they are not very good. In the sense, they are good only, in the sense not very good, in the sense the technical aspects are not followed. Subject is there, point, subject, everything is there. Everything is there. They are all very good videos. But technical perceptions we are using from 250th episode. Though I could not make first impression, all my videos from 1 to 250, they are very good in Konapareddy Movies. They are very good, very good, very good. I simply said good. They are not good. I said good. I said they are very good, excellent videos. But it takes on the onlookers how you feel, how you perceive. Okay, from 250th, what we are doing, we are using all technical components also into consideration. When we meet strangers, it takes 5 seconds to make an initial impression. In 5 seconds, we can make an impression. First impression once made is often irreversible and virtually proves to be everlasting. First impression made, everlasting. Sometimes it may not be true. In my channel, there may not be 1 or 2 good videos, but the rest of them, 250 we uploaded, 1 or 2 may not be good, but 247 definitely 100% excellent videos. At times, it is detrimental as we tend to get prejudiced and it affects our communication and our decision making. At times, what we see, what we feel detrimental. When we feel detrimental, no, not at all. We'll be in confused state whether to what to do, what decision we have to make or not. Don't be detrimental when taking decision making. When taking decision, first impression determines one's success or failure for further interaction. First impression may not be good for some people, but first impression generally it makes or breaks one's failure or success for further interaction. Learn to make a positive and lasting impression. Positive and lasting impression required. Modify yourself to suit any situation and come out a front runner. So now I am modifying myself. 250 videos already uploaded. I modified myself. Now I have come out a front runner. My channel is good, doing good, very good now. Why? People at last found, oh, so much matter is there, so much usefulness is there in this channel. Konapareddy movies. That is why we have to watch it. That's what people feeling. That means I modified myself, suited to situation, and came out front runner in YouTube channels. Okay? That means first impression if not made nicely, then you have to modify it and come out front runner, which I did myself. To cultivate it, it requires assessing and identifying your personality. I identified my personality, my strengths and weaknesses, my physical appearance and attribute, lifestyle and goal. I modified myself. When I modified myself, became successful, became a winner, why don't you modify yourself and become successful? And become a champion, leader, winner, achiever? It's possible through tedious, strenuous hard work. Cultivate body language, the physical attributes. Physical attributes should be good. Cultivate body language, adapt dress code. Dress code is very important in communication. Tune up and modulate voice. Voice you need to tune up and modulate. Use appropriate eye contact. When speaking to people, use appropriate eye contact. That's very much important. And at times go a bit further and dramatize a bit. Sometimes you need to dramatize a bit to make your communication effective. If necessary, only dramatize your communication. Alright? Now, coming to one message. It is not good if I read out this message. I am skipping this message. Next. Number 2. So far, 1 we discussed now. Number 2 bullet point is dynamism in communication. Within dynamism, there are some points. To carry the first impression further, dynamism matters. The first impression you made, oh, good, Hariprasad is a good person, we have to carry with him. First impression is made. That dynamism should continue. If you continue the same, the dynamism matters. That is why dynamism you need to maintain. Communication is a dynamic process. It's not static, it's a dynamic process. Means volatile at times. Sometimes communication may be volatile. You make it dynamite. Dynamism required. Once the first impression is made, the next step is speaking skill. Yes, first impression is made. When you look at the person, you made the first impression, then how you speak when you open your mouth, speaking skill required. First impression is by look. The second one is your speaking style. Dynamism is also about accepting the changes with the time. Dynamism, how it should be? Dynamism should be like this. You should accept the changes according to the time. Adapt it and grow with it, which is in fact an intrinsic quality of corporate culture. What is corporate culture? Adapt to the culture in the corporation, grow with it, which is in fact an intrinsic quality of corporate culture. That means adapting to situation is intrinsic quality in corporate culture. Globalization and specialization are ensuring us need to become multilingual even when we think that we are being monolingual. This point again I will explain. Wait. This point again I will explain. Globalization and specialization are ensuring us need to become multilingual. We need to speak more languages. We need to be multilingual because of globalization and specialization. And see, even when we think that we are being monolingual, even though we are thinking we are monolingual, let us go for the multilingual. Many languages we need to speak. We are in fact becoming global. We are in fact becoming global. Global yet local. It should be global yet local. We call it global. We are becoming global now. We are maintaining our own atmosphere and also becoming global. That is global we are going for. Today's Queen's English can be renamed as Amlish, Americanized English, Indian English as English, Hindi English, and likewise Chinese English as Chillish. How it is? See? Queen's English, Amlish, that is Americanized English, Indian English as English, that is Hindi English, Chinese English as Chillish, Chinese English, Amlish, English, Chillish. Libertarians argue any language is about communication, not correctness. Libertarians, what they say? Any communication is in language is in communication that is understandable, not correctness. If the other person getting what you are speaking, that's okay. Correctness, grammar, where it doesn't matter. We often communicate by bending and breaking the rules of grammar and vocabulary. While speaking English, we bend and break the rules of vocabulary, rules of grammar. So understandability is required, that's all. Once what you speak, the other person understands, communication is over. Whether you break rules there, rules of grammar there, rules of vocabulary, that's a different case. Omission of words in emotive language, emotion-rich language, emotional-built language, emotive language, like in slogans, captions, is more effective and power-packed than the complete sentences with lexical and syntactic balance. Lexical and syntactical balance not required sometimes. So, what is required? What is required? Required thing is omission of words in emotive language. In emotive language, words are omitted. Even then, that looks beautiful. Okay? So, then the power-packed, more effective power-packed with grammar. Omission of words in emotive language, like in slogans and captions, is more effective and power-packed than the complete sentences with lexical and syntactical balance. Even though there is no lexical and syntactical balance in language, in emotive language, some words are omitted, missed. Even then, those sentences are power-packed, beautiful, effective. Example I am giving, anti-litters campaign. One anti-litters campaign going on. Don't rubbish Hong Kong. I am loving it. Grammatically speaking, don't rubbish Hong Kong. I am loving it. Wrong. Grammatically speaking. Though bad English, but good communication. English is bad, but communication is good. Another example is chamcha. Chamcha means follower, which is incorporated into Indian English today. In Indian English, we use the word chamcha. Chamcha means follower. though vocabulary wise not a good word, but followed in India, in Indian English. That means it is widely accepted. Chamcha means follower. The plain English movement was practiced in England in 1979. Plain English movement in 1979. The objective was to reach out to the common masses and be useful and usable. English language should be useful and usable by common people, by common men, fellows on the street, very common people. That is why in England they followed in 1979 plain English movement. The more we try to language bias free, the more it gets embedded with colloquialism and workplace jargons. See how beautiful it is. Don't be language bias. Free language bias. When you are language bias free, what will happen? Language will be embedded with colloquialism and workplace jargons. Okay? A decade earlier, the word mouse was a small rat, but today, 10 years back, what was there? Mouse means small rat. But today, it is only a computer navigator. Mouse is a computer navigator. See how the language changes, transforms. Language of communication is now commerce. Now today, language how we are using, it's only for commerce. For business we are using language. It is a free trade agreement of ideas and feelings. The fewer the official restrictions, greater the benefits. If official restrictions are minimized, then greater benefits will be there. Then language can be used for commerce purpose, commercial purpose. Okay? I give you one message now. I am responsible for what I speak, but not for what I understand. See, any person, I am responsible for what I speak, but not for what I understand. You may understand differently. What I speak is, I am answerable. Your understanding is not to me. You are taking in a different connotation. Coming to the topic, the third point, bullet point is focused speaking. So, if you want to make first impression, those 2 points we discussed already. The third bullet point is focused speaking. Communication is systemic. That is, all the components of communication are interdependent and codependent. They work as a system and affect one another. So, communication is systemic. All the components of communication are interdependent. All the components of communication are interdependent and codependent on each other. One another. I am responsible for what I speak, but not for what I understand. What I speak, I am responsible for. What I understand, I am not responsible. The way how I understand, I am not responsible. Okay? Then, first impression is the best impression in that episode. Third bullet point is focused speaking. Focused speaking. Communication is systemic, that is, in all the components of communication are interdependent and codependent. They work as a system and affect one another. If any one of the components, sender, receiver, channel, medium, feedback, content, context or goal is disturbed at any stage in the process of communication, it affects the entire process. If any one of these, sender, receiver, channel, medium, feedback, content, context or goal, if some disturbance is there at any stage, whole process of communication is disturbed. If the feedback in communication process is not there, the sender won't know how far the communication was effective. If you don't give me feedback after listening to my lecture on first impression is the best impression, how will I know, being the communicator, how will I know If I get the feedback from you, then I will know to what extent, to what far my lecture went for. That is why to communicator, what is required? The feedback is required. Disturbance at any stage of communication may become a barrier to communication process. We have already discussed it. Disturbance at any stage of communication process, the whole communication process comes to a stall. So, let us be explicit with the examples. I will give you some examples. The bathroom is slippery. This is the example. The bathroom is slippery. I am giving explanation for this sentence. The speaker utters the sentence to inform us, or his intention may be to warn us. If this sentence is like this, be careful, the bathroom is slippery. Now the explanation is, here the intention of communication, the purpose of communication and the language of function match, and thus a focused sentence is derived. It is a focused sentence so that the other people will have focus on that. See, be careful, the bathroom is slippery. If the board is there, then who will go inside? If they go inside, they will go with carefulness. Let us compare the following sentences. I am giving you some sentences now. Do you know the answer to this question? Can you tell me how to reach airport? Two sentences. Explanation. The first sentence is intended to be a question. The purpose is to ask a question, and the language function is also appropriate. So, the appropriate reply is yes or no. The second sentence looks like a question, rather it is a request for directions to reach the airport. So, appropriate reply is not yes or no, but to get to the direction to reach the airport. Therefore, to make a positive and lasting impact on others, the intention has to be clear, the objective has to match the intention, and the language function or the speech act has to be appropriate. Okay, let me give you one message now. Life can give us lot of beautiful persons, but only one person enough for a beautiful life. Coming to the topic, point 4, emphatic listening. Emphatic listening. How emphatic listening will be? It connects. Emphatic listening definitely connects. People hear what they want to hear, see what they want to see. Video conferencing presentations are a part of business world. Video conferencing. Today, video conferencing is a part of business world. Let the speaker know that you are listening what he is saying. If the speaker understands you are listening, then only he tells you more things, important things, useful things. If the speaker knows that you are not interested, then he won't tell anything, because there is no encouragement from your side to the speaker. For my lecture also, there should be encouragement from your side. Then only my lecture will be beautiful, useful and usable by all YouTube watchers. Speaker wonders whether his message is getting across. Speaker wonders whether his message is getting across, my message getting across, all of you are attentive listening to it, or getting wasted. My message getting across or getting wasted, that I want to know through feedback. You please give feedback how my lecture is, and feels it is worthwhile to continue speaking or not. If your feedback is good, then I will continue my lectures. I want to give 100 lectures on soft skills. This is the 7th lecture, 7th episode on soft skills. If your feedback is good, I will give another lectures. Otherwise, I stop giving, because if my lecture is wasted, no one watched, what is the use? Preparing the lecture, video conferencing lecture, making the lecture, shooting the lecture. No use, no? That is why please give feedback how the lecture is, how usefulness, how effective it is for the people. After the first impression is made, emphatic listening only can help to bring about a connection of trust and bond. First impression is made, then how the bond can be cemented? If emphatic listening only can help to bring about a connection of trust and bond. I am speaking how emphatic listening in listening to my lecture. Therefore, pay the speaker your undivided attention and acknowledge the message. You need to pay undivided attention to the speaker and acknowledge it so that you get more points to learn from the speaker. Look at the speaker directly. Eye contact required. All you students, eye contact. All you YouTube viewers, eye contact. You need to put your eyes on my eyes. Eye contact with you and me. Then only what happens? You are listening carefully. Not occasionally. When the live speech, when the speaker is speaking, not occasionally. Smile and use other facial expressions. Smile and use other facial expressions so that the speaker will be encouraged to speak further. Encourage the speaker with positive response and small verbal comments like really, oh, great, right, lovely, well said. Like that verbal comments if you use, no, the speaker gets encouraged. That is in any speech process. Okay? Encourage the speaker so that he will give you more points to you. The fifth one, judicial use of pause. Pause is to be used judicially, carefully. A smart speaker knows the value of pause. Where to stop, where to continue. Pause adds personal style and mood. Pause adds personal style and mood. A good speaker uses pause to bring drama, anticipation, mystery and emphasis to increase the convincing power in persuasion. Well paused sentences end in clear pronunciation and enunciation. Good pace, pausing, chunking help the listener to process information, that is, time to ingest and digest the information to react appropriately. Okay? That is judicial use of pause. Next one, point 6. In first impression is the best impression. Role of assertiveness adds bridge building power in the communication process. In the communication process, bridge building power is role of assertiveness. Role of assertiveness as bridge building power in the communication process. In the communication process, role of assertiveness is very important. Assertiveness. Assertiveness of communicators clearly states their opinion, expresses feelings appropriately and respectfully. They speak with clarity and precision. Assertive communication is born out of high self-esteem. If you have assertive communication, high self-esteem, then assertive communication is possible. Assertive communicators value time both personally and professionally. Personally and professionally, assertive communicators value time. So those points expressed how the first impression is the best impression. I am giving How first impression is the best impression in a communicative angle? Characteristics of assertive communicators. What are the characteristics of assertive communicators? Assertive communicators use I statements reflecting individuality, high self-esteem. Assertive communicators stand up for their rights and resist manipulation. They will have a relaxed body posture. Relaxed body posture. Assertive communicators have good and pleasant eye contact. They always maintain eye contact. Assertive communicators feel competent and in control. If the speaker is not assertive, how he can feel himself competitive? How he can feel competent and in control? Assertive communicators feel connected to others. I am the assertive communicator. I feel connected to you. That is why you are listening to my lecture on one of the soft skills. That is, first impression is the best impression, the communication angle. Assertive communicators believe everyone is entitled to their opinion. Yeah, they are entitled to express their self respectfully. I always feel I give you respect. You have every right to value my lecture. Next one. So here, next one is assertive communicators are 100% responsible for their happiness. If you are assertive communicator, you are 100% responsible for your happiness. Assertive communicators use we statements to show the team spirit for credit sharing. We have done, not I have done. We statements they use, the assertive communicators. They try to know people by name. This helps to connect you well. They try to know people by name. This helps to connect you well. Assertive communicators, what they do, they try to call people by their name. For example, one Chief Minister, Chandrababu Naidu, he calls all the people by name. He remembers. That means he is the assertive communicator. So that is why he is connected to his leaders. Though may not be to his people, but he is connected to his leaders. Because he calls every person. For example, Challa Bindu Madhavrao is there, one Mandal president in East Godavari. Madhavrao, how are you? He calls Chandrababu Naidu. That means he is connected to him. By calling by name, no? Connected to him. Okay? Assertive communicators say, I agree with you on so and so point, but my point is, what assertive communicators say? They don't quarrel. They say, I agree with you on this point, but my point is like this, they say. So that assertive communicators will be pushed through to the people. Assertive communicators forget the fast strained relations with people and forge ahead as the political parties are doing now. Assertive communicators, what they have to do? They have to see, forget the past strained relations. The political parties, today they are enemies, tomorrow they are allies. Today enemies, tomorrow friends, political parties. Assertive communicators must forget what happened before, the past strained relations. They have to forge new friendships. Even with a foe, enemy, he has to forge relationship. He has to fix relationship. Assertive communicators give compliments and appreciations to others, which work as great incentives. My friend is there, one friend. He is a squadron leader in Air Force, Indian Air Force. He calls all the people, sir, what can I do, what, sir. That means He is connected to people. So he always gives compliments to other people. He always gives appreciations to other people. So if you are assertive communicator, give compliments and appreciation to other people so that they get connected to you permanently. Now let us remind Dale Carnegie. He is the author of the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. He is author of that book, Dale Carnegie. What he says? Dale Carnegie, what he says? How to win friends and influence people. In that book he said, when you give appreciation, compliments to other people, they get attracted to you. They get connected to you permanently. Be hearty in our approbation and lavish in praise. Be hearty in your approbation and lavish in your praise. It actually works. If your approbation is hearty, praise is lavish, then actually you are connected to people. Have passion and drive to achieve and internalize the skills. Have passion and drive to achieve and internalize the skills. Strive to make constant conscious practice, practice, practice and practice. What you have to strive to make? Constant conscious practice, practice, practice and practice. The only way to make yourself perfect in part of survival in the corporate world. If you are practicing, practicing, practicing and practicing, that is the only way to have survival in the corporate world. Okay? What I said? First impression is the best impression. I have given this topic in communication angle. Okay? So closing now. Before closing, I give you 3 rules for success. Trust your brain. Trust yourself. Trust Hariprasad Konapareddy. You become winner in life. Thank you. Next slide. Carpe diem.